today. All right, yeah. Here we are.
Hi, welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Chat. I'm Vern.
I'm Vic, and oh man, we've got a lot to talk about today, Defcon Rugby. We got to talk like the header. I put that header. I blame me for the header. SA teams have a cuck weekend. No, they had a fucking terrible, terrifically shit weekend because they are shit. Because they coach shit, they play shit, they send shit players all over the place. They don't take competition seriously, and that's what happens.
Yeah, I think we're lagging a bit, Vic.
Lagging. Oh, well, let me see. Okay, all right. If we're lagging, let me get rid of some stuff for the lagging. There you go. Should be better now.
Let's. What Defcon are we on today? It's definitely Defcon 1.
Yeah, I'll put it out there. But I'm just not happy, man. I'm just not happy, man. There you go. Defcon 1. It's all over. It is all over. They're all out.
They're all out. It's done. It's for base. Hi, Ronnie.
Oh, I've got a freaking migraine just thinking about it. I got a migraine thinking about it. But let's start the show. Let's tell you what's coming
We
up
still
here
got a
in the
bad
show,
lag,
obviously.
yeah?
Got such a big lag.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't switch off anything anymore. I've got nothing else on other than... But the OBS has been having a lot of problems today.
A lot of problems. I've had problems as well.
Okay, well then just wait. We'll tap. Just write in the thing just for a second. We're working on it. I'll see what I can do. All right, because all right. I'm just gonna have a look if we're still lagging as bad as it was.
On my phone, we're not even moving.
So you can hear us very well, but you can't. But the picture's lagging, but the sound is good. There we go.
Well, then just listen and don't look.
So, well, you're going to have to listen to us and don't look at us. I know, ladies, I'm sorry, but that is what it is. It is what it is. But we're working on the lag. Maybe it'll come back in a minute or two. But look, Vern. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's get straight into it. We don't even have to do the topics because we're going to talk Investor Cup, Challenge Cup. But we got to tell you guys to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That's definitely
yes.
So let's start.
And don't forget, I want to thank everybody in green, our members. Thanks, guys, for your support. A magic, man. If you guys want to become members, just press that button there and join the revolution.
All right, let's talk about the games. Okay, so on the weekend,
No.
Saints.
Let's start with the challenge.
You want to start with the Challenge Cup? All right, okay,
Not
there
with
you
the
go.
challenge.
I'm flexible, man. I'm flexible. Look, the Sharks sent a half-decent team up to Connacht, but I'm sorry, your captain's not there. I mean, it's a European competition. It is the second highest competition. It's like the EuroLeague to the Champions League. No Esterhazen up there.
Yep.
You don't send the best players, and then afterwards you complain. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. Listen, the Sharks haven't performed this year. So with a half-hearted team, you're going to get hammered. That's just where it is.
The Sharks haven't performed for 3 years.
Also true. Now listen here, you get what you deserve, Vic. I mean, come on.
I mean, you know what? Some French teams lost on the weekend. But overall, the French teams, they still send their best teams out there. I mean, look, Montpellier against US Perpignan was expected 53-13. I'll go through the results and then we'll get back to the South African teams. Chiefs against Munster, good win for the Chiefs. Benetton beating Cardiff 38-35. That must have been a good game. Italian teams both won, funnily enough, right? We always ridicule them a little bit.
Yeah.
Newcastle lost at home, 18-26 to La Rochelle. Ulster beating the Ospreys, we expected that, 28-24. Dragons, good result for the Dragons. Even the freaking Welsh have got a team into the quarterfinal. The Welsh, the ratatouille eating fucking rabbit eating people, the Welsh, man. Wales. The Wales that a whole federation doesn't even know how many teams they're going to have next year because it's so much in disarray. The Welsh have got a fucking team coming through. Need I say more? Then a Tebre beating Selection Paloise. Also not good from the French team, good from the Italian team. Look, I'm going to show you quickly. That's the road to Bilbao, because all the finals have been played in Bilbao. No one knows why it's in Bilbao, because they don't have a team. I do not understand this, but okay. I guess it's a money-making stint. So you're going to have Montpellier against Connacht. I got Montpellier. You got Tebre against the Dragons. Who gives a shit? You got Benetton against Exeter. I kind of like Benetton because they are at home. And Ulster against La Rochelle should be a toss-up. I mean, most probably, if all things go the way it is, Montpellier against La Rochelle is the final, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But look, a Challenge Cup is not the most important thing. I can understand if some teams don't take it that seriously. But it's still, everybody's complaining about money, right? But this is the tournament where you can make a lot of money if you do well.
I don't know what the problem is. You can never have enough money.
No, ask Uncle Elon.
Never have enough money. Come on, man. It's a competition. First of all, it's a competition. And then the best of the best. At least a bit of pride, a bit of, I don't know. It's just, that fucking annoys me.
But you know what? I've noticed? We'll get to the Investor Cup. But you know what I've noticed? I saw games this weekend, and I looked through all the TV channels and I was watching them. You look at when a French team is playing at home, packed stadiums, man. Packed stadiums. Most probably it's a good thing that the South Africans can't play at home, because you'd have Loftus-Versfeld that have 300 people in there for these kind of games. I don't understand this. The South Africans, the only thing that can cover up all this dog shit that we've been watching on the club rugby, from the Lions, from the Sharks, from all this stuff, is they go win the World Cup.
Springboks, man.
But it cannot. Your rugby, you can't be. I mean, Springbok rugby and South African rugby should be on a level where we can say we can play good national team rugby and we can play good club rugby. We can't. When we were in the Super Rugby, remember, even then we didn't dominate it.
No.
We never dominated club rugby. We're not like the French. We're not like the others that dominate club rugby. I've just had enough of this shit. It's annoying.
I've got to echo again. Mana says.
Oh, well, then I'll put you a little bit soft on my side. There you go. But I mean, look, let's not get to there. Let's go to the Investor Cup, man. Because I got a rant about some things. I mean, look, I don't even want to talk about my Sharks. My Sharks were cuck. Punkt. Okay. Good game there. I watched that on TV on Friday night. Saints against Custers. That was a nice game of rugby. Not a lot of defense, but a good game of rugby. Then, 49-41, good win for the Saints. Bath coming through against Saracens, 31-22. Now we've got to talk about the elephant in the room. Toulon against the Stormers, 28-27. Toulon have had the worst season in the last 5 years in the French rugby. They're not doing well. They've got a lot of injuries. They're not as strong as they were. The Stormers sent a decent team up to Toulon, right?
Decent team, yeah.
Okay, I know it's not easy to win away from home, all this stuff. But let's start. I mean, Dobson is the most fucking stupidest coach in the world. Who plays Damien Willemse on the wing? Where he never gets to touch the ball. Because the wingers touch the ball, most probably the least out of all rugby players on the field, right?
Yeah,
so,
true.
Why is Willemse not where he should be, maybe on 15, or play him as a fucking number 12 where he gets the ball a lot? But now Coach Dumbass Dobson, I mean, the man's a fucking pathetic little twat. You play one of your best players there. Then a lot of people say, you played Sasha, didn't start the game and stuff like that.
No.
But Sasha's been cut for the last 5 weeks.
No. Listen here. I did that game, and I must say, Yuri Mati, he made every kick. He took 2 penalties and a conversion. 2 penalties and a conversion. If Sasha started that game, he would have missed them.
Okay, and then what I don't understand, all South Africans, I'm talking to all of you, they've got Sasha up their arse. I mean, they are up Sasha's arse like fucking candy floss, man. Sasha, this greatest player, whatever. But listen here. Why don't you take a drop goal? He had the opportunity for a drop goal at the end of the game, and he didn't take it. And what happened then? I saw you on TV there, on the channel. About 10 minutes, you were hoping that it was a try.
Listen here, but you couldn't see it. So you can't give it.
No, you can't. The referee said it was held up, and I trust the referee more than it was held up. And the cameras couldn't prove that the referee was wrong. So you got to stay with the on-field decision. Had he said it was a try, right? Yeah. And they couldn't see that it was a try or not, they would have stayed with that decision too. I think you got it right. When in doubt, trust the ref. And I mean, look, why were they in that position in any case? They had opportunities beforehand.
Okay. It wasn't this game was the problem. The problem was the pool games. You're sending your crap team up to play Harlequins. You lose your home court, so your home advantage. If they played well in the pool pen, they would have had it at home and they would have won. So
when last did a South African team actually in the Investec Cup have a home last 16? They always send crap up to Europe and they expect a result. There is no result there. The Stormers, I mean, look, how many times were the Stormers held up on Saturday? 3-4 times?
3-4 times, yeah.
Okay, all right, boom. You play Willemse on the wing, dumbass coach decision. Should you brought Sasha actually played quite well on Saturday.
He did.
Should you have brought him earlier?
Listen here, we had enough opportunities to win that game without, I think. But you must just see the first 20 minutes, there was only one team on the pitch, and that was Toulon. The first 20 minutes, I don't think listen here, they couldn't get out of their own 22, so it was nuts, man.
And then now I want to ask you another question. How many yellow cards did Toulon go? How many men did they go down to?
Well, the last 4 minutes they're playing with 13.
So you're a fucking South African rugby team. You're the mighty Stormers, as you call them, right? You've got all these world-class players on your team. You can't score against 13 men.
Listen,
and then I hear excuses all over. Cry me a fucking river.
No excuses, Vic.
There's no excuses.
They didn't play good enough.
South African rugby teams. I've said it we've been doing this now for 2 years straight now. They don't take these competitions seriously. The only team in the last few years that has taken the URC seriously has been the Bulls. And okay, 3 finals losses. Okay, different. But they don't take the game seriously. There's so much chopping and changing. The only South African team that doesn't chop and change is the Lions because they don't have that much talent on their squad, right? Yep. But how are you supposed... Look, I play basketball on a professional level. If every game I'm playing with 4 different guys on the court, I have no knowing of how they're going to play. Does he always go to the rebound or whatever? Same with this rugby. It's like every week they play a different 15. There's not enough because they got to rest them all the time for other shit. And I mean, I didn't understand a lot of things, man. Maybe I'm the dumb fuck and everybody else knows it better. But I'm disappointed.
I was very disappointed with that game.
And then I listened to that game with you. I got pissed because the Stormers lost. I mean, I'm not a Stormers fan. I'm a Sharks fan. But I was rooting for the Stormers. Okay?
Of course.
Then afterwards, the Warriors against the Bulls. Now listen here. You know, people will say Dobson with Sasha. I can understand bringing your best kick, your best fly half on a little bit later so that you have him on the field in crunch time. Because these games, we knew they were going to be decided in the last 15 minutes, right?
One second. I just want to go to the chat quickly because Paul Terry said the second yellow should have been a red. It doesn't matter. He couldn't play to the end of the game anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, you know what they should have done? They should have sent their better players in the earlier rounds and they would have won more games.
Exactly. It's the
It's
just
against the
the
Warriors,
earlier rounds that fucked us up. It's the earlier rounds that they didn't take seriously. That is the problem.
I'm telling you now one thing. I've got nothing against Ackerman. Had Rassie coached the Bulls on the weekend, the Bulls going through. Because he wouldn't have started Pollard and take him off after, 60, 70 minutes. In these tight games, I guarantee you now, I guarantee every Springbok fan out there, Sasha and Marnie are starting most of the games at the World Cup.
Yeah.
The earlier rounds, they're playing dog shit. They're not going to lose any games in the earlier rounds. I mean, who we got? I think we got Italy, okay? That could be a tight one, but normally not, right? Come last 16 quarterfinals, semifinals, he will start Sasha and he will start Marnie and see how the game goes. But come around about 70 minutes and the games are close. There's only one person you want on the field. Because I'm telling you now, had Andre Pollard stayed on the field, the Bulls would have won. Had the Stormers had Andre Pollard in the last 10 minutes or the last 3 minutes, he would have dropped gold and you would have won. And people are like, oh, Pollard is not that good anymore. Pollard is a country fucking... He's so far ahead of the other fly halves. It's like that what's that? Artemis bloody rocket ship. It's off there. That's the distance between him and the rest of them. He's just way ahead of them, man. Come on. I don't understand these things, man.
Mana says Dobson has Gallant up his dinghies. He doesn't drop him, but he's been cuck for the last 4 years.
Well, they look. Coaches make decisions that we will never understand because we're not in the weekly practice. We're not in training. Right? But I do. First of all, I do think I don't want to see any URC Springbok players play in the Currie Cup. Right? I don't want to see that.
No.
I want to see them all playing in the Investor Cup. Listen here. This is the premier competition. Now we're adding another club competition, right? It's coming. That World Club competition. The South African teams might as well just say, fuck it, we'll just give us the money and we'll lose 30-0, forfeit, because they're not going to do shit.
I think you have to qualify through the Investor Cup. So none of them are going.
Good. Because we'll just embarrass ourselves sending B teams with... Listen, and the coaching pool, let's be honest, Dobson, not the greatest.
Questionable.
Ackerman, I'm not convinced from Ackerman.
No.
And JP Peterson is so out of his fucking depth. I might as well go coach Real Madrid in football because I can be out of my depth as well when I coach football. I mean, that's the difference. The only coach that I think that does a good job in South Africa, I'm not talking about Boerland and then I'm talking about the URC teams, is the guy from the Lions, Van Rooyen. I think he's doing a good job because you look at his talent pool compared to the other three teams, Vern.
Crazy.
That's like saying to a chef, you have 4 chefs, you give 3 of them fucking filet mignon, and you give the other one hamburger meat, but the guy that's making hamburger meat's got the best dish out there.
Yeah, but listen here, the only thing I think with Ackerman, the Bulls' defense is horrendous. What the Bulls what they get tries and points, it's unbelievable. It's crazy.
Did you see the squad that they had out there, Vern?
I just think the Bulls.
You know what? If I was the Bulls coach now, how about changing that? I mean, people can tell me now I'm befucked. That's fine. I'll tell you to fuck off. Check this out, right? A rugby game goes 80 minutes. So what do most coaches do, right? They start us till about 60 minutes. 55 minutes, and then they switch them around, right? So that then they can have fresh people in, right? How about you start those? You don't start. You start those guys, right? And after 35 minutes or after 30 minutes, you take them out and you put the good guys in. You know, bring Sasha on after 30 minutes already. Then he plays 10 minutes and then he gets a break at halftime, right? So he's only going to have to play 40 minutes on the bounce. Peterson did that the week before, and that was a good theory, because you want your best players as long as possible on the pitch, right? And you got to give them breaks. I don't understand this. I don't understand some of the thinking behind this stuff. Look, maybe that these coaches have done everything right, or maybe the South African teams are just not that fucking good.
I just think because in those pool stages, none of the teams, not the Bulls, not the Sharks, none of the teams took it seriously. So they had Cuck in the knockout stage. They had Cuck.
Yeah, they're good.
They always had a
good
win.
positioning in the league tables, and so they got to play away from home. They all complain because they got to travel. Well, then play. Well, then if you look in the group stage, you have to travel. Okay.
Yep.
In the group stage, it is like that. You've got to. Same in the URC. You play those games. You're going to have to go 8 or 9 times to Europe, and you got to play away from home as much as you play at home. 9 and 9 because it's 18 games. Okay, so you have to travel 9 times. But in the quarterfinals and the last 16 and the semifinals and the finals, you don't have to travel if you do your job beforehand. Because then you can just fucking sit in Cape Town, play with your dick, and fucking have home games one after the other. But no, they got to travel all the time, and then everybody, but we had to travel. Well, because you were cuck in the group stage.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. Can you imagine now? The Bulls, the Stormers take, and the Sharks take the URC really seriously, send their best team, right? You come second, third, or fourth, whatever, I don't care, man, or you win the group even. You have the quarterfinals at home, you have the semi-finals at home, if you win, obviously, and then the other teams can, then the Warriors and the Leinster and then can complain, oh, we had to travel down to South Africa. But they don't. You look at that URC table these days. You look at that table. Who's on top? The Warriors, right?
Yeah.
The Warriors know exactly that if it comes to the playoffs, they don't want to go to Loftus Versfeld.
No.
They don't want to go to the DHL Stadium, or they don't want to go to Kings Park. Let's be honest. Watch now when the Lions play them in 2 weeks' time. It's Lions against the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
The Warriors are not going to send their best team down to South Africa because they've done the work beforehand already.
I hope not.
They don't lose home games. South African teams lose home games, Vern. When last did a Scottish team lose a home game on those plastic pitches?
Not many.
No, let's have a look at the road. The road to Bilbao for the big French matchup. I think that one's one maybe we have to do next week. Bordeaux against Toulouse.
That's a tough one in the quarterfinals, Vic.
Then Bath against Northampton Saints. You kind of feel that side of the draw is really stacked, right?
Yeah.
Then on the other side, it's the Warriors against Toulon and Leinster Rugby against the Sale Sharks. So, yeah. Look, yeah, it's not going to be easy. Who would you go for? I still go Toulouse beat Bordeaux. I would go Bath will win at home against the Saints. The Warriors will beat Toulon, and I think Leinster will be too much for the Sharks.
I think that Bordeaux-Toulouse game is in Bordeaux. I think we'll have to do that game.
But you know what? South African club rugby teams, they complain, right? Oh, we can't do the Investor Cup, be strong in the Investor Cup and in the URC. Can I just look at something? Leinster and Glasgow, every freaking year they're in the semi-finals or in the quarterfinals. And every year they're on top of the URC log.
Yeah.
And does Glasgow have a better squad than the Bulls, the Sharks, or the Stormers? No. Leinster, maybe.
But Glasgow,
but
definitely not.
Every year. Glasgow, I'm not the fan of the Scottish haggis-eating, Mars-bar frying, kilt-wearing, whiskey-drinking slobs, mongrels. But they turn up every year, and they manage to be on top of the URC log, and they manage to do a good run in the Investec Cup. So if they can do it with a lesser squad than the Bulls and the Stormers and the Sharks have, why the hell can't the Bulls, the Stormers and the Sharks do it?
We've explained why.
Because we can't.
No, because they don't take the competition in the group phases seriously. You've got to win that group. You've got to have home field advantage, man.
I mean, let's go away from rugby. Let's go to the Champions League in football. You play those 8 games. Everybody's trying to get into that top 8 so they don't have to play an extra round, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in the NBA playoffs, everybody's trying to get to home court advantage, right?
Yeah.
South African teams think they know things better than everybody else. That it's no problem for us to go away from home. They never win away from home. I think if I brought out a statistic on how many away games the South Africans win on average, it must be a pathetic thing. The only South African team that ever wins away from home is the Springboks. We own Wellington.
Yeah.
I had to put that in there, Vern. I just had to bring it in there.
Yeah. I mean, the Bulls won one away this year, but then they lost it at home. So
yeah, there you go. So look, there was no challenge. There was no URC this week. There's no new URC. You know what? Now, I'm going to talk about the dog shit South African teams again. I've got to say, now they all got a week off, right? There's no rugby for them this week. So when the URC starts in 2 weeks' time again, I don't want to see half the Springboks missing.
Listen here, I don't have an injury list. I don't know who's injured, who's not.
Listen here, I'm going to put out the URC round there. There you go. That's coming up, right? So let's be. The Stormers got Connacht at home. Connacht is still in the competition, right? Because they're going to play next week because they beat the Sharks. The Warriors has got to play. Who else? What? The Sharks, the Ospreys are out. The Ospreys also get a break. Who else? Where's the others? The Bulls. The Bulls have got to go to the Dragons, but the Dragons are still in the competition, Vern. So I expect 4 South African wins next week. You got a week off, more than any other team. You should have the better. 2 of you, or only the Lions play at home. Okay, so the other 3 away. I don't care if you play away. You got to win those games. I know the Stormers are at home as well. If the Stormers don't beat Connacht, I'm going to have a fucking rant. More than I'm having.
Don't you worry. Stormers will take care of Connacht. Don't you worry.
That's what you say every time. The limoncello, your limoncello that you drink after every game, that's freezing already in the refrigerator, man. To talk about this stuff, let's have a look at the other stuff that went on this week, because there was some good rugby as well. Right, here we go. Go to the Super Rugby. There were only 3 games on the weekend. Some crazy results there. I mean, the Crusaders thrashing the Drua 69-26. I did that game. Unfucking believable. Then the Chiefs took care of the Waratahs 42-40. The Waratahs, they call themselves the New South Wales Waratahs, right? NSW. They have no sense whatever. That's NSW. No sense whatever. Vern, the mistakes they were making. I thought I was watching the Sharks in disguise. I thought the Sharks put on Warrior shirts. That's how cut they were. Waratah shirts. And then the biggest upset of the weekend, Bernie.
I didn't see that. What happened there?
I didn't. 1942 to the Force. What happened there? What happened there? Big win there. Let's have a look at the table. Because now the table is nicely all evened out. Only the Hurricanes has got a game less. Funnily, the team with the least games on top of the log. And a big games this weekend. We're doing all 5 Super Rugby this weekend, me and you. The Hurricanes against the Blues, Vern, will be this weekend.
Good one.
But against the New Zealand teams, they're all 3 big New Zealand teams on top. Then you have the Brumbies, the Crusaders, and the Reds. So you've got 4 New Zealanders in there and 2 Aussies at the moment. But look, that Force win takes them away from the bottom of the log. It's Moana and Drua at the bottom. I just don't know. I don't know at the moment. I still think the Highlanders and the Waratahs have got a little bit of hope for the playoffs, but we'll see. We will see. But I must say, what I do like is I had one game. I can't remember which game was it. Chiefs against. Let me go back here. I've almost forgot now. Chiefs against the Waratahs. Vern, I didn't have to stop the clock once in 80 minutes.
Yeah.
The ref was good. He let it flow. Guys, move on. Let's move. It was flow. You know when you start a game, you start at like 7 o'clock in the morning, the game starts, right? If it's the URC, the first half is finished most probably at about an hour later, 20 minutes of stoppages. They started at 7, at 20 to 8, first half was done. You know what I mean? They let it flow. The URC blows the stuff up too much. I mean, even on the weekend, there was some people complaining about the referee decisions. I expect my Sharks, with that talent pool that we have, I don't give a shit if they take somebody out of Falkenberg mental institution to ref the game. We should be beating teams. The refs can't be the thing. But yeah, that's it. So let's go to the Japanese league because I'm losing my shit here. When I'm just thinking about the South African team, I lose my shit. There you go. You want to go through those or should I go through those, Ken?
I'll go through quickly. Yeah, Mihon the Heat beating the Sun Goliath 24-17. The Dynaboards beating the Blue Revs losing to the Blue Revs 41-45. The Wild Knights beating the Cannon Eagles 42-15. Toyota Bearblitz beating Kobe Steel 24-7. No, that's not the Steel. That is the
Spears.
The Spears, yes. The Brave Lifters beating the D-Rocks 40-24. The Black Rams losing to Kobe Steel 19-14.
I mean, I think the big surprise was Mihon the Heat beating the Sun Goliath.
Very big surprise, yeah.
Look, I've watched a few of those games just on the side there, some of the highlights. I like the play there. It's good. It's good rugby. Obviously, it's not of the standard. Let's be honest. They don't have the world class players. But you know what they do have? They've got heart and passion. And these Japanese boys, all of them, they want to be there. You know what I mean? They want to be there. Sometimes with the South African teams in the URC, I feel some of those players don't want to be there. If we look at the standings, Satama Wild Knights and Kobe Steelers way out in front. Kubuta Spears in third. So those are the top. There's a big difference between the top three and the rest of the teams.
Yeah.
The Sun Goliath in fourth, but let's go to the what's name, to the conference, because then you can see who's in the playoffs at the moment. So you have in the B conference, it's the Steelers and the Spears that are in. And at the moment, it's still Brave Lupus that is in there, but Shizuoka Blue Revs are catching them. But we'll see. We will be doing some of the playoff games there in the Japanese rugby. All depends on how we fit it. I mean, we're going to have a quiet rugby weekend on Saturday afternoon, unless you want to do an Investec Cup one. I mean, that Bordeaux-Toulouse game looks nice, Vern.
The Bordeaux-Toulouse game, I'll most probably do that one, yeah.
Or your son there, Pollock with the Saints and
fuck that. Okay. No.
So I will set that up. I don't know. I don't know exactly what time it is, but I'll set it up for you. That should be good.
I can tell you what time it is, with.
But I'm just, I've ranted today. It's because I am disappointed, Vern. I am disappointed. We have so high hopes for South African rugby, and when the Springboks don't really let us down, let's be honest. They haven't let us down in like 8 years now, okay? They've done well.
Yeah.
But why, club rugby is one thing. I mean, if I was an owner of these teams, if I owned the Sharks, I would beat the Mooring. I mean, because it's not like these players are not earning good South African rands, right? I mean, I don't want to know what the Sharks' wage bill is. I mean, Eben's not playing for under R1 million. You shouldn't forget that.
Must be nuts.
He's not playing for under 2 or 3 million rand.
No, he's getting way more than that, Vic.
There you go. So, I mean, I can, the eye doctor, I mean, there were just so many players that are not up to standard this year. And, if I look at the Bulls, right, who's been the best Bulls player this year? Yandre Rudolph. He turns up every game.
Rudolph's been good.
The Eustace turns up the young guy. Then give the young guys. You know what? I think if we played more under 20s, we would have had a better chance because they turn up. I mean, Villy. I mean, the decision to bring Villy on at the end for Andre Pollard. I mean, come on. That's a ridiculous decision.
Yeah. Just want to let you know that game, Bordeaux against Toulouse, is on Sunday, 4 o'clock.
Oh, we can do that one together because there's nothing else on Sunday. Because Man United play Monday. I'll come to your place. We'll do that one together. So we can at least together watch world-class rugby on a club level. Because I haven't seen world-class rugby from a South African club team all season.
I'll get the braai ready. I'll get all the meat. We'll have a little...
Yeah, and a little bit of pasties.
What?
Well, you drink limoncello for the Stormers. We need pasties for the French, or the nice red wine from Bordeaux.
Fuck off.
But that's the show today. I mean, I've just been on a rant today. And you know why I'm ranting? It's not because I want to get clicks or anything shit like that. I'm truly disappointed, Vern. I'm disappointed.
Listen here, you at least didn't have. I had to sit through those 2 games and watch it. I mean, they were very.
Listen here, I had to sit through a Sharks game. That is as painful as doing the Stormers and the Bulls back to back. Okay, the Sharks game. Doing a Sharks game is like doing 3 games in a row. It's painful. You know, your ass hurts afterwards. It's been like you've been violated.
The Stormers and the Bulls game were at least very exciting. It was nerve-wracking. It was painful, but exciting.
Yeah, but you know, look, it's just not right. It's just not right. And I mean, look, it's not right for the fans. And look, you can lose these games in the last 16. You can lose against the Warriors. You can lose against Toulon. You can lose against these teams. They're also good teams. But you shouldn't be in the situation. You should be in the situation that the Warriors are coming down to South Africa to play the Bulls.
Exactly.
Toulon should be traveling down to the Stormers. You know what I mean? Don't talk about the Sharks. We all know the Sharks are cucked, okay? But I just think that, you know, and you can change the coaches. I mean, we've had Jake White, Jake the Snake, and you changed the coaches and you changed them. We had Dumtree at the Sharks. But as long as you can change the coaches as much as you want. If you're not playing the right players and you're not giving them the opportunity to play a lot together with each other, that they get used to each other, this is gonna be the story again next year. Next year's gonna be worse, Vern, because it's a Rugby World Cup year. You think you're gonna see Springboks playing for the Bulls and for the Stormers and them? Hell no! They're gonna be all rested all week. They're gonna be on fucking Club Med the half of the season, man.
On a sabbatical.
Yes. I mean, you know. No, I gotta go now because I'm going to say some things that I shouldn't be saying. Otherwise, I'm going to make people really upset. You know, I mean, our rugby teams are playing like Liverpool for FC, man.
True.
I had to put that one in there for Marnus. I'm sorry. And
Just
Paul Terry, how's Arsenal do? You know, I just got to put those things in there. But listen here. See you guys tomorrow morning for the morning show. Don't forget, it's Table Tuesday tomorrow, so we'll go through the tables tomorrow. Vern's back off to work tomorrow morning, so am I. And then in the evening, tomorrow evening, we have EuroLeague basketball and we have the Champions League. The last 8 of the Champions League. That's going to be exciting, also live on the channel. So that's me, I'm out. Have a great weekend, a great week, and let's hope the rugby gets better. Namaste, there you go. Ciao, ciao. Are you praying? The only thing is you want to drink limoncello. You can't drink any limoncello next week because they're not playing.
True.
Yeah. Listen here, if the Stormers make it to the final of the final, I'm talking about the final. If the Stormers make it to the final of the URC, I will get you a case of limoncello, okay?
Fuck no, man.
I'm making a limoncello elky out of you. There you go.
Exactly.